distinguished guests, delegates, celebs, friends, ladies and gentlemen, to the red carpet evening among the stars. My name is Makeda, and I'll be your DJ for the evening. Please join me in, thank you very much. Please join me in giving a very, very, very warm welcome to Oying Rimon, Director of the Bill and Melinda Gates Institute for Population and Reproductive Health.
Good evening to all of you. Did you pass by the paparazzi outside? No? Yes? Okay. So let's have fun. We work hard, but there's also time for fun. I would like to welcome you to the Night of the Stars, and also the night in which we're going to confer the Lifetime Achievement Awards to some of the most prominent people in our business. So since I'm not much of a speaker, I would just like to welcome our Master of Ceremonies and host for the evening, the famous Yvonne Chaka Chaka. Please come to the stage.
Hello, Rwanda. How are you? Are you all right? Well, thank you very much, and a very good evening to everyone. It's amazing that we even have young people today. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Well, thank you to the organizers of this function. Thank you to the Ministry of Health. Thank you to the government of Rwanda. Thank you to PSI. Thank you to the Gates. Thank you to everyone who's just made it possible. What is nice is that we all know family planning. We talk about it, but do we walk the talk? What is good is that the very same young people that we want to teach them about family planning are here. So we're not going to cut your hair without you. We're going to cut your hair whilst you're here. Thank you for that. Thank you for including young people. What is family planning? What is family planning? Joy. Choice. What is family planning? I can't hear. Whatever you've learned in the past 2 days, I'm sure you're going to take it back to your constituency. We want to make sure that our girls and our women can choose when to fall pregnant. How many children should they have? But we can't talk about girls' issues without talking about boys. So that's why we even have boys here today, because we need to start walking the talk. And family planning is not all about women. It's not all about girls. It's about us. It's about everybody. So to organizers of this function, we want to say thank you very much for doing this, because you can imagine, once we know how many children we want to have, it's going to be good for the community. We're going to make sure that these children are not suffering, because we've decided to plan the family. And for young people, you need a choice. So to the organizers of this function, I want to say thank you very much. And when you go back to your constituencies, this is what you say. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich, and your ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. But I'm going to give you somebody very important. Next on stage is going to be Navani. Navani is a musician who is a part-time Sri Lanka Tamil diaspora in Canada. To raise awareness of human trafficking, today she's going to perform in Tamil, a song called Malika. Please give Navani a big round of applause. Let's start.
நான் ஸ்ரீலங்கா போனேன் நேத்து ராத்திரி. ஆனா கண்டதெல்லாம் ஒரு சின்ன கனவு மாதிரி. ஸ்ரீலங்கா போனேன் நேத்து ராத்திரி. ஆனா கண்டதெல்லாம் ஒரு சின்ன கனவு மாதிரி. ஒரு சின்ன பிள்ளை ரோட்டில விளையாடுது, என் காரை கண்டு பின்னால ஓடி வருகுது. ஒரு சின்ன பிள்ளை ரோட்டில விளையாடுது, என் காரை கண்டு பின்னால ஓடி வருகுது. அவ உடம்புல எண்ணி பார்த்தா ஒரே ஒரு துணி, வாய் முழுக்க முத்துமணி. அவ கிட்ட போய் பேருன என கேட்டேன், அவ சொன்னா என் பேரு மல்லி, என் அம்மா சரியான ஒல்லி. அப்பா தூங்குற சோம்பேறி, இந்த வீடு முழுக்க நான் தான் வேலைக்காரி. என் பேரு மல்லி, என் அம்மா சரியான ஒல்லி. அப்பா தூங்குற சோம்பேறி, இந்த வீடு முழுக்க நான் தான் வேலைக்காரி. என் பேரு மல்லி, மல்லி, அம்மா சரியான ஒல்லி. அப்பா தூங்குற சோம்பேறி, இந்த வீடு முழுக்க நான் தான் வேலைக்காரி. என் பேரு மல்லி, என் அம்மா சரியான ஒல்லி. அப்பா தூங்குற சோம்பேறி, இந்த வீடு முழுக்க நான் தான் வேலைக்காரி. சொக்கி போன அவ பேச்சு கேட்டு கூட்டி போனேன் உடுப்பு வாங்க. உடுப்பு வேணாம் காசு கொடு, நான் வேலை செய்யறேன் காசு கொடு. காசு கொடுத்தா என்ன செய்வ, கூட்டி போவியா உன் வீட்டுக்கு. காசு கொடுத்தேன் என்ன செஞ்சா, கூட்டி போன அவ வீட்டுக்கு. அது விடியல ஒரு சின்ன ஒழுங்கு, அவ அம்மா எல்லாம் இழந்து. அது விடியல ஒரு சின்ன ஒழுங்கு, அவ அம்மா எல்லாம் இழந்து. பேசவும் வழியில பார்க்கவும் முடியல, கையோ மரக்கட்ட காலோ அவ கீழ. பேசவும் வழியில பார்க்கவும் முடியல, கையோ மரக்கட்ட காலோ அவ கீழ. ஷெல் அடிக்கிறாங்க ஷெல் அடிக்கிறாங்க எந்தாங்கோ. மல்லி விழவும் தூக்கிக்கிட்டு ஓடினேங்கோ. ஷெல் அடிக்கிறாங்க எந்தாங்கோ. மல்லி விழவும் தூக்கிக்கிட்டு ஓடினேங்கோ. கண்ணு முடிச்சு பார்த்தேன் ஆஸ்பத்திரியில, குனிஞ்சு பார்த்தா கால் இல்ல, அணைக்க கூட கை இல்ல. இத கேக்குறதுக்கு யாரும் இல்ல. முடிச்சு பார்த்தேன் ஆஸ்பத்திரியில, குனிஞ்சு பார்த்தா கால் இல்ல, அணைக்க கூட கை இல்ல. இத கேக்குறதுக்கு நாரி இல்ல. அழுதுகிட்டு வந்தேன் வெளியில, கண்ணு முடிச்சு பார்த்தா கட்டில. நான் கண்டதொன்னும் கனவுல, நான் கண்டதெல்லாம் கனவுல. நான் அழுதுகிட்டு வந்தேன் வெளியில, கண்ணு முடிச்சு பார்த்தா கட்டில. கண்டதொன்னும் கனவுல, நான் கண்டதெல்லாம் கனவுல. அவள் போல எத்தனை மல்லி எத்தனை மல்லி, அவள் போல எத்தனை மல்லி எத்தனை மல்லி, அவள் போல எத்தனை மல்லி எத்தனை மல்லி, அவள் போல எத்தனை மல்லி எத்தனை மல்லி உலகத்துல. அவள் பேரு மல்லி, அவ அம்மா சரியான ஒல்லி. அப்பா தூங்குற சோம்பேறி, இந்த வீடு முழுக்க அவள் நான் வேலைக்காரி. அவள் பேரு மல்லி, அவள் அம்மா சரியான ஒல்லி. அப்பா தூங்குற சோம்பேறி, இந்த வீடு முழுக்க அவள் நான் வேலைக்காரி. என் பேரு மல்லி, என் அம்மா சரியான ஒல்லி. அப்பா தூங்குற சோம்பேறி, இந்த வீடு முழுக்க நான் தான் வேலைக்காரி. என் பேரு மல்லி, மல்லி, அம்மா சரியான ஒல்லி. அப்பா தூங்குற சோம்பேறி, இந்த வீடு முழுக்க நான் தான் வேலைக்காரி. அவள் போல எத்தனை மல்லி எத்தனை மல்லி, அவள் போல எத்தனை மல்லி எத்தனை மல்லி, அவள் போல எத்தனை மல்லி எத்தனை மல்லி, அவள் போல எத்தனை மல்லி எத்தனை மல்லி உலகத்துல உலகத்துல உலகத்துல.
A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Navani. Can you tell the people what the song meant?
This song is about human trafficking. So it's a story about a little girl named Malika. Actually, I wrote this song when I was 15 years old. I dreamt about this whole story, and that was my first song.
A big round of applause. Thank you very much. A big hand for Navani.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we're moving on, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great evening, and you all look beautiful. I'd also like to acknowledge our Minister of Health from Rwanda. This means political will. Please rise, Minister. This really means commitment, and political will. Thank you for being part of this, and thank you for supporting family planning. It's very important. We know Rwanda has done such a great job. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're moving right ahead with our program, and next on line, I'd like to call Mr. Carl Hoffman, PSI President and CEO. Again, a big hand. This is what he's coming to do for us. This is what he's coming to do for us. He's going to talk to us or give an award or awards. The future is female. That is the future. The future is female because women are strong. Women of Africa particularly are very strong. Oh yes. And women are an ocean, nurturing and strong. And all of us here tonight, we are men, but some of us who bring life into this world are well-organized men, women. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yvonne Chaka Chaka. Your Excellency, Excellencies, friends, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here this evening. It's going to be a great night. I'm delighted, as Yvonne said, to be able to present the first, but certainly not the last, Future is Female Award. Now this award is designed to recognize the commitment of time and resources and intellect on the part of someone who wants to ensure that every girl and woman has the agency to decide her future. And that's what we're all here about. The first recipient of this award is just such a leader. And I'm excited to present this award to her because I've seen her leadership and the work that she's doing in this regard up close. Jess Jacobs is an actress, a speaker, an advocate. She's brave, she's strong. She's a member of PSI's philanthropy arm, the Maverick Collective. She's the co-founder of a woman-led production company based in New York called Invisible Pictures, whose mission is to work in film and television, documentaries, and with digital content, all focusing on ways for the invisible to tell their stories. And in a process that I would call sort of creative co-creation, she involves the people whose stories are being told right from the outset, both in front of the camera and behind the camera, in pre-production and in post-production, to ensure that they are driving their own stories. In her Maverick Collective work, Jess uses innovative, user-centered design approaches in Côte d'Ivoire to ensure that programs there to increase access to contraception for adolescents are built by la jeunesse ivoirienne for la jeunesse ivoirienne, with them inside the process from the very beginning and from start to finish to ensure that these programs will last. So her philanthropic leadership builds programs that are models of dignity, effectiveness, and equity. And for all of these reasons and so many more, please join me in recognizing Jess Jacobs, the winner of the first Future is Female Award.
Thank you. It's sort of crazy to be here because when I first got the phone call from the incredible team at PSI, the first thing that I did was sort of the thing that happens like when somebody waves in your direction and you're like, oh, me? Because when I first started realizing how committed I was to sexual and reproductive health work, the only thing that I had in my toolbox was my story, was my own experience with reproductive health as a teenager. I was a sophomore in college. I had enormous ambition and my whole life ahead of me, and I missed my period. The adolescent mindset is that these things happen, sure, but they happen to other people. They don't happen to me. And yet, here I was. I was 19, a little scared, needing support that I didn't think that I had. And I had a million questions, even when I knew that terminating my pregnancy was the right choice for me. And I did. But I held the stigma associated with that choice for years, until I finally told my mother. And for the first time, she confided in me that she too had had an abortion, also as a teenager. And it became so clear to me in that moment how important it is to normalize the conversation about reproductive health. Thank you. Because we're not alone. So I carried my story with me for another year and into a conversation with my father about the changing political landscape that we're seeing in the United States. But the further that we got into it, the more I felt the reality that our bodies and our futures are not about politics. They're about health, and they're about potential. I said to him, without choice, the woman that is standing in front of you, the woman that I want to be, she wouldn't be here. Every girl should get to grow up to be the woman that she wants to be. And I have chosen this fight so that no other woman or girl has to experience shame or fear or barriers to access to basic health care. When we talk about empowerment for women and for girls, how could we start anywhere except for our own bodies? And when we talk about coming together to change the world, how could we start anywhere except for with women and girls? So I spent my career, as Carl said, working in Hollywood, and I'm still doing so. But it felt so far away from sexual and reproductive health. And in so many obvious ways it is, but day by day, I realized that the change that we're working towards is surprisingly similar both in the entertainment and in the development spaces. It's an open ear. The more often decision makers listen to constituent voices, the more impactful the work is. In Hollywood, that means shifting from diversity, which is sometimes it's a buzzword which can present as progress, but can be tokenism or sometimes exploitation, to authenticity. And Invisible Pictures is doing this by putting people at the center of their own stories. Likewise, we're seeing a massive refocus in the global sexual and reproductive health work towards participatory practices, towards human and user-centered design, towards putting youth at the center. And through this, we're seeing more effective and efficient development processes and programs. And in both cases, it's an approach which mandates nothing about us without us. In Côte d'Ivoire, where the project that I'm working on with Population Services International and the Maverick Collective is piloting, the us is young Ivorian women aged 15 to 24. And not only is the project not being formulated without them, but they are truly, truly driving the charge. Claudia, our project manager, is a 26-year-old Ivorian woman. The peer leaders, Esther, Bintu, and a number of others, who are all running the prototyping, are the age group of the girls that we're reaching. The girls themselves are shaping the program every day through their participation and their feedback. This award is about them. They are the future of Côte d'Ivoire, the future generation of women that will teach and raise the future generation of young people, the future generation of our global community. So, thank you from the bottom of my heart for this Future is Female Award, and especially for all the young women leading the charge in Côte d'Ivoire. In the United States, when we say the future is female, what we're talking about is an intersectional feminism. It's an elevation of female and feminine leadership to balance the surplus of male leadership that we're seeing around our world today. And I'm not talking about vaginas. I'm talking about approach. Listening instead of talking. Sharing instead of owning. And collaborating instead of competing. We all have those traits within us. They don't just belong to women identifying people. And we can all lean into our feminine side a little bit more these days, I think. So maybe right now, especially at ICFP 2018, we can see that we, all of us, we're not the future. We are right now. Thank you.
Another big round of applause for Jess, ladies and gentlemen. She is amazing, and I know there's so many young people like you who do the same good work there. Bravo to all of you. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Carl, for doing this for us. And Jess, this is just the beginning of good things to come. Let's continue. Let's support our young people. Let's empower our young people, because yes, they may be the future, but they are the generation that needs to be empowered right now. Nothing for us without us. Next in line, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just so happy that, you know, the organizers of this conference are getting young people involved, and young people are going to entertain you all the way this evening. It's just amazing. We've seen Navani, and now we've got another incredible young person. Her name is Avril. Avril is a musician from Kenya, East Africa. Yes, come. Her passion is about women empowerment. She does lots of advocacy through her music, and she's going to perform for you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for the beautiful Avril, all the way from Kenya, Nairobi.
This is a gentle reminder to every woman here that you are powerful. You are fire. I'm just that chick. I work hard for what I got, that chick. Miss Independent, I go hard, that chick. I swagger kwa wingi, bali mimi siringi. Mola anibariki. Nimepitia kufikia. Hapa nipo asilimia. Can't nobody bring me down, no, nobody bring me down. Say you let when you let when you let when you let tell baby mama handling hers be like drama. Tell boss lady handling hers kamakawa. All around the world, to each and every girl, handling us like a boss. Kama umepitia kufikia, pale upo asilimia.
to hear you say you let him. You let. Say you let. You let. Can no one hold you down? Believe in who you are. Lohis mama imara utakachosupa ufanya. Ukiamini when you let him sing you. Oh, I'm speaking in Swahili, by the way. You let. When you let, you let. When you let. When you let, you let. When you let, you let. When you let, you let. Do we have strong women in the house? Do we have men who support strong women in the house? I want to hear you say, when you let, you let, when you let, when you let, 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 when you let, you let. Tell that woman. When you let, you let, you let, when you let him, when you let him, when you let him, when you let him. You let, when 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 you when you let, when you let, when you let, when you let. Do we have any East Africans in the house? Tumekuja chokoza. Usidhani umepata nafasi. Oh, tumekuja chokoza. Usidhani umepata nafasi. Wewe Charlie, usione mimi ni chipsi fungawe. When I smile at you, don't mean I want to spend the night with you. When I dance with you, don't mean I want to get freaky with you. Ati twende nyumbani. We Charlie, hebu wacha valawe. Mini skati ni urembo tazama lakini songawe. Songa mbali, don't you see that you are bugging me? I've got my own, my job, my cash. ETC, tafadhali nipe heshima yangu way. Hey, what's up, my good people? This is your girl Avril from the 254 Kenya. Thank you so much, and that's my time.
Can we have some music, please, so I can dance? So even as we're having fun, we can also celebrate tonight. We have the inaugural Lifetime Achievement Awards. The Lifetime Achievement Award acknowledges the significant commitments and accomplishments the honorees have made to family planning throughout their lives. These honorees have inspired others to take action on pressing issues, creating lasting positive change for women, families, communities, countries around the world, symbolizing the lifetime returns and investment that family planning provides at many levels and sectors of society. I am pleased to present the Lifetime Achievement Awards William H. Gates Sr., whose early support for family planning and reproductive health has been essential to alleviating global inequalities in health and wealth. His vision to reinvigorate the family planning field and invest in the best and the brightest young talents has proven prescient many times over. His commitment spans decades, from serving on the board of Planned Parenthood Washington to investing in the establishment of the Bill and Melinda Gates Institute at the Bloomberg School of Public Health at Johns Hopkins University, and championing of family planning and reproductive health as a trustee of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. We call him Papa Bill with love, has been a leading voice across many endeavors that have increased family planning access and improved reproductive health for women and men, communities, and countries throughout the world. We have a special video about Papa Bill. Can we play it, please?
Bill Sr. is a giant of a man, and I mean that both physically and philosophically. He's tall.
You know, he's so tall.
My first impression is he's very tall.
He's like 6'6".
Bill Sr. is a caring man.
He's unflappable, as far as I can tell.
I was impressed with him from the very beginning.
He's always intently interested in what you have to say.
The idea that this man that knew as much as he did about family planning wanted to learn more.
Not every man is comfortable talking about reproductive health, and especially not then. He dug in and did it. He was fearless.
More than 20 years ago, Bill Sr. visited Johns Hopkins, this school.
Papa Gates, as we all then called him, had been asked to prepare and set up a foundation.
She finally convinced him, after a number of discussions, to come visit the school.
He came, stayed in my home, and I was able to take him in each day to meet the students, the faculty, the dean, to talk about all the possibilities.
Bill absolutely fell in love with the students. He could see the passion, the devotion they had to both found, strengthen, lead reproductive health programs.
We were very excited to meet him, and particularly his inquiry and his interest in knowing how can we really help these countries to moving forward and improving women's health.
I was struck by how humble he was, his simplicity, and that he was such a great listener. He was truly interested, and that stayed with me.
He paid very, very close attention to what they told him, and so the students loved it, of course.
The day he got back, he sent me the first check. It was for $2.2 million.
A $2 million grant to plan out the Institute, another $20 million to support the first 5 years of the Institute, followed by a $40 million grant to be used going forward. We decided to invest in universities in developing countries to replicate the population reproductive health training that was going on here at Hopkins.
So it became the Bill and Melinda Gates Institute for Population and Reproductive Health. And that's how it all began.
He told me that one of the reasons he was inspired to do this work was that he had a sister who passed away, and he felt that she didn't get the opportunities in her life that she should have. This was apparently a very smart woman, very intellectual, and that she wasn't allowed to go on to complete her education. And he felt that that shouldn't happen to any woman, and he was passionate about making that not be true in the future.
He just exuded concern and interest and commitment for this program.
I believe that the legacy he will leave behind is bigger than anyone can actually document or calculate. I believe that what his money has done through the Gates Institute has touched many lives.
You know, his dream that no woman should be curtailed the way his sister was, he largely got a lot of that done.
I like to think that our Gates Institute is a powerful force for good in the developing world. I know it is a force for good to those people that it touches, and I think that he should be very, very proud of that.
Brilliance is not enough, okay? There are many brilliant people in this world, but humility, a sense of humor, and that sense of preparedness, that's not easy to find in a person.
I'd say he exudes integrity. He exudes integrity.
When Bill asked a question, it opened your vision, it raised your ideals, it made you think bigger, not smaller. And I've always loved him for that.
He's a terrific guy.
May I call on the Honorable Minister of Health, Dian Gashumbap, to come on stage. And please, Dr. Ellen McKenzie, the Dean of the Bloomberg School, please join me on stage. May I call on Dr. Chris Elias, the President of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, to receive the award on behalf of Papa Bill.
Let me start by expressing a heartfelt thanks on behalf of Bill Sr. and the entire Gates family for this incredible award. It's really an honor for me to be here this evening to receive it on his behalf. I have lunch with Bill Sr. every couple of months, and I'll be sure to give it to him. And when he and I have those lunches, we often talk about those beginning days. I had, in 1998, about the time he was beginning the funding for the Gates Institute, I was working with the Population Council in Bangkok, and I had the honor of hosting him on what was one of his first field visits to Thailand, where we went out into villages and we talked to people who were receiving some of the benefits of some of the first grants of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And what you heard in the video is true, has been true throughout his life. He's now in his mid-90s. The caring, the humility, the humor, the laughing with the children, and asking some of the most incisive questions, and listening hard, and using that to advise Bill and Melinda on their philanthropy. I think it's helped shape their understanding. It's not an accident that some of the first grants of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation were in the area of family planning, reproductive health. That's expanded to a vast array of other topics, but at the same time, we've never lost that core commitment. I think it's greatly influenced Melinda's personal efforts to put family planning back on the top of the agenda, beginning in 2012 with the London Summit of Family Planning, and continuing as the principal thing she uses her time, energy, and voice to advocate for today. I think Bill would have loved to be here to feel the energy of this conference. Several people mentioned how tall he was. One of the interesting things about tall people is that they force you to build higher ceilings and bigger spaces that bring other people together. And I think Bill would be particularly excited to see all the young people at this international conference on family planning. He'd love to be here. I'll tell him all about it. And just thank you again for such an honor for him and for the entire Gates family. Thank you.
Chief Grace Ebon Delano is a veteran midwife who has worked in reproductive health and family planning for over 55 years in Nigeria. An outstanding family planning champion, Grace began her career as a midwife in the 60s at the University College Hospital in Ibadan, Nigeria. Grace, I still remember the first time I visited you, which is still fresh in my mind. Grace co-founded the Association for Reproductive and Family Health with Professor O.A. Ladipo, expanding access to family planning in Nigeria and West Africa. Grace is the author and co-author of several family planning textbooks, including the first family planning textbook written in 3 Nigerian languages. She is a recipient of several awards, including the World Health Organization Sasakawa Prize for Health, together with Professor Ladipo. Grace has an honorary Doctor of Philosophy degree from Columbia University for her exemplary work in community development. So I guess, Grace, I should call you Chief Dr. Grace Delano now. But something I just learned today. It is also Grace's 83rd birthday. Can we sing happy birthday to Grace, please? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Grace. Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Day to you. May I call again on the Honorable Minister of Health and the Dean of the Bloomberg School of Public Health to please join me on stage. Yeah. Okay. Grace, please join us on stage. Grace, you, for your remarks.
All protocols observed. I must say I feel highly honored and elated to stand before this uncommon gathering to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award in family planning and, of course, in reproductive health as well. I am extremely grateful to God, the organizers of this event, and those who are actually behind this conferment that this is happening in my lifetime, for I am here in person to receive this award. I consider the effort that has fetched me this award as a service to God and humanity, and not that of any personal glory. And I wish to dedicate this award to everyone who has been part and parcel of my little success that we have recorded so far. Among whom are late Professor Olushola Ojo, the first Nigerian obstetrician that actually established family planning in the country. Alan Rosenfield of Columbia University, who had the faith in us and decided to send the team to actually mentor us for what we have achieved so far. And of course, to Dr. Eugene Wise, who assisted him in assisting us to start the training of all nurses, doctors, and midwives. I therefore salute the courage and dedication, and of course the commitment of women and men in the rural communities, and of course the nurses, the midwives, and other health professionals, dead or alive, who made so much sacrifice by working with us at their personal risk to promote and offer family planning services at community level and at various clinics that we established. This, in actual fact, was a time when family planning was tabooed in Nigeria, and just a mention of it attracted violent reaction. Many of these individuals volunteered to be trained as community-based distributors, educators, promoters, peer educators, lending their hand to put an end to maternal death, teenage pregnancy, induced abortion that was rampant in those days. When I started working 55 years ago on family planning, never did I imagine that this moment like this will ever occur. I can only say I am extremely grateful to this recognition and award. I must sincerely acknowledge the investment of various individuals, international organizations, too numerous to mention, in our capacity from that time up to the little beginning that we are now having. And when I say little beginning, that is before family planning really gained momentum in Nigeria and Africa. Their belief in us, backed up by financial, material, technical support, enabled us to make the little contribution we've made over this time. The cycle of enabling environment for me will not be complete without the mention of my family, and most importantly, my husband, the Chief Justice Delano, a retired, who gave me 200% support in dedicating the most part of my life and marriage to family planning promotion, service delivery, advocacy, training, most especially in the rural areas. I will want to appreciate my daughter, Yejide Wise, who is here with me tonight, my daughter-in-law, and of course my granddaughter as well, who are here to see me receive the award. Finally, I commend my generation that made after us for sustaining this vision and making family planning a reproductive health to the height it has attained today. Permit me, therefore, to call on African leaders to do more by investing considerably in family planning and reproductive health to increase access of women and sexually active young girls as a response to high population growth and maternal mortality, and of course, teenage pregnancy in Africa. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I really want to thank each and every one of you here present for contributing, I'm sure, in making sure that I receive this award. I promise that I will want to cherish this award forever, and I hope to pass my work over to the next generation. Thank you very much.
Professor Dr. Oladapo A. Ladipo is a renowned obstetrician and gynecologist who has dedicated over 40 years of his life to improving access to quality family planning. He was the past president of the African Federation of Obstetrics and Gynecology, a member of IPPF's International Medical Advisory Panel, a faculty in the Obstetrics and Gynecology Department at the University College Hospital in Ibadan, Nigeria. He is the Executive Secretary and Program Director for South-South Cooperation in Reproductive Health. He is the founder of the Association for Reproductive Health and Family Health in Nigeria. He is a leader, mentor, technical advisor to so many local, state, and federal agencies in Nigeria. The very well-respected Professor Ladipo. I know I'm getting you on an exercise, Madam, but I would like to request again the Dean and the Minister to join me. Yeah. You can get angry at me later on, okay? Yeah. Yeah. May I call on Professor Ladipo to please?
Your Excellencies here present, distinguished colleagues, distinguished participants, in particular the youths here present, who are the next generation, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by quoting the words of Eleanor Roosevelt. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dream. And this award is indeed fulfillment of my dream. And I'm highly humbled and deeply honored to join the list of inaugural recipients of the Lifetime Achievement Award in Family Planning and Reproductive Health. It is indeed the best award at the pinnacle of my career, in partnership with another distinguished recipient who has been the pillar of the sexual and reproductive health in my former institution, Chief Mrs. Ebon-Delano. Despite her age, she is still glowing and energetic with the appellation of Sweet 16. You will agree with me, she still looks like an adolescent. Let me also pay my respect and deep admiration to Bill and Melinda Gates Institute for Population and Reproductive Health and its dedicated and capable leadership, Oni Jose Raymond II. Until I had the opportunity in October 1973 to be the Foundation JPIGO trainee in advanced technology for fertility management, my family planning experience in the United Kingdom, where I trained and specialized in OBGYN, was limited to prescribing the pill when requested for by the clients, postpartum or interval sterilization using keyhole surgery. I wish I had patented that keyhole at that time. Perhaps I would have earned a lot of money instead of the mini lab that's followed. Occasionally, I attended vasectomy sessions, largely because of the free pint of beer provided by the urologist at the end of each session. Following JPIGO training, I had the opportunity of visiting International Fertility Research Program, now FHI 360, and IPAS in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. As a young gynecologist, my exposure at that time changed my research interest from rhesus isomerization, which was topical at that time, but I changed to sexual and reproductive health because of the appalling reproductive biodata in Nigeria and elsewhere in Africa. When I returned home, in partnership with late Professor Ojo and Mrs. Delano, I changed the tunes of the department, which at that time was purely just provision of condoms, M211 intrauterine coil device, many of you may not know it, Dacron shield, that fell into disrepute, and coldoscopic sterilization. I introduced through JPIGO laparoscopic procedures. I also introduced third-generation contraceptive pill. I also introduced the implants to Nigeria and elsewhere in Africa. But most importantly, the most important technology of that decade was the common syringe, which was used not just for therapeutic abortion when medically indicated to save the mother's life, but also to manage incomplete missed abortion and saving many hours of waiting, saved through that simple technology. You prevented post-abortion sepsis, you prevented the need for blood transfusion, and also early discharge from the hospital. I must say, with the collaboration of Mrs. Delano and the so-called pink girls, her staff, who wore pink dress, all these technologies were immediately introduced. Our focus was largely to build capacity of doctors and nurses. Secondly, to do research, being a university institution, research into new technologies, and of course, strategic advocacy at local, federal, and state level. Family planning was a taboo nationally in the 70s in Nigeria, as the nation was strongly pronatalist, fueled by the end of the Biafra War and strong economy due to the black gold oil. I remember 72, 73, it was announced that we had $3 billion in excess, and the government did not know what to do with it. Virtually in every region, traditional barriers were palpable with strong pronatalist culture. And because of that, there was also the strong argument in favor of investment in infertility management, because people felt that infertility was their problem. And for those entering these movements, please listen to your population. You should not impose or coerce family planning. We listen to them. And with the low CPR, we decided on a concept of fertility continuum. High fertility at one end, low fertility at the other end. By sheer coincidence, the World Health Organization did a global study on epidemiology of infertility, and I coordinated for the Africa region. That study revealed that the major problem of infertility is infection. For women, tuber occlusion due to postpartum infection, post-induced abortion infection, sexually transmitted diseases. These problems can be prevented by barrier methods or use of contraceptive methods. Therefore, we decided in our fertility research units, we'll manage both too. There was wisdom in managing both infertility and high fertility. The resulting effect was that even those who were infertile who got pregnant became contraceptive users later on and champions for promoting family planning. That reduced the stigma and the cultural objection. I must also say that today, however, with pride, with our joint efforts, we have been able to improve health literacy about family planning. In the 70s, you could not talk about family planning above River Niger and Benue. Today, we can clearly discuss family planning openly. It is even now, today, no more birth spacing. You talk about family planning and population management. This is because of the investment that we had put into it. Today, there are compelling evidences and investment in family planning is the key to achieving sustainable development goals. Family planning encompasses services, policies, information, attitudes, practices, and commodities that give women and men, couples and adolescents the ability to avoid unintended pregnancy and choose whether and or when to have a child. Without any doubt, family planning is a cross-sectional intervention that can hasten progress across the 5 SDGs themes: people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnership. Without any doubt, voluntary family planning brings transformational benefits to women: reduced mortality, morbidity, reduced infant mortality, etc., etc. There are benefits to the family, communities, and countries as well. And we must certainly improve access to quality family planning services. Any family that fails to plan the family size also fails in general. And for many of those who do not plan their family, the legacy and the only legacy they have for their children is poverty, regrettably. Currently, the fastest population growth is in Africa, in particular Nigeria, that has an estimated youthful population of about 198 million. The adverse effect of this unchecked population growth is palpable everywhere, as evidenced by the level of poverty, huge number of unemployment, resulting in insurgencies, radicalism, and migration to Europe and elsewhere in the world, despite the risk involved in those migration efforts. Many have died. Despite considerable progress in national policies, quality family planning, and reproductive health services, many women are still disadvantaged due to traditional, cultural, and inadequate distribution of service delivery points and inadequate number of trained personnel, as well as shortages of commodities. Therefore, we need to rethink, apart from government commitment and a favorable policy environment now, there's need for us to generate new champions, as many of us are aging and will not be functional in the next several decades. Ladies and gentlemen, in Africa, there is a concept known as Ubuntu, U-B-U-N-T-U, Ubuntu, the profound sense that we are human only through the humanity of others. that if we are to accomplish anything in this world, it will be due to the work and achievements of others. I like to see all of us working together in partnership. Partnership to harness innovative events across generations. Partnership between donors. Partnership between institutions involved in contraceptive technology development. Partnerships with the youth. Partnerships with faith-based organizations. Partnership in particular with the youths. I'm encouraged by the energy and dynamism of over 600 youth at this historic conference. Youth indeed are the future of our world. Ladies and gentlemen, as we're handing over the baton, I like to look through the crystal ball and say with confidence and optimism that I would like to see a world of adolescent girls and women empowered and indeed in decision-making process that affect governance, their health, and well-being. I like to see women enjoy the same respect throughout their lifetime, and culturally womanhood is acknowledged and protected. I like to see women enjoy the same rights as men and never again subjected to harmful practices such as child marriage, genital mutilation, gender-based violence, and rape. I like to see that girl child has equal education opportunities, preferably free and compulsory to secondary school level. I like to see women will not risk their life because of unwanted, unplanned pregnancy. I would like to see women have access to universal health care, including availability of quality family planning. I like to see women will be able to enjoy mutually filling relationship without the risk of STIs. I like a world where maternal mortality is drastically reduced to the barest minimum and that women are not anymore disposable. I like to see a world where VVF will be eradicated and no more a problem faced by young adolescents. I like a world where women have access to new reproductive technologies that not only prevent unwanted pregnancies, but protect them from STIs, and in some cases, provide micronutrients as well. This is the right that women all over the world deserve. With optimism, this is the world I dream for my 5 granddaughters and their peers across the globe. Indeed, a world full of choices and improved sexual and reproductive health. Ladies and gentlemen, I will not say much more than this, but I like to recognize the presence of my wife, who has been very patient all these years that I've been away. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
So stay with us. After I call on our next honoree, there will be 2 superstars performing for us. Yes. After that, we will have Dancing Galore with PSI's Not Your Mama's After Party. Klaus Brill served as Vice President of Global Healthcare Programs at Bayer AG, Berlin, until he retired early this year. Mr. Brill realized early on the important role pharmaceutical companies can play in making family planning more accessible. His visionary work in the private sector for over 35 years has resulted in life-changing returns and investments for millions globally. Due to Dr. Brill's leadership, Bayer became the first pharmaceutical company to be accepted as a member of the Reproductive Health Supplies Coalition, of which he still serves in its executive committee. paving the way for other private sector companies to take action towards reaching Family Planning 2020 goals. Klaus' dedication to improving contraceptive technologies, as well as his contributions to the scientific community, have been crucial to advancements in family planning and reproductive health worldwide. Klaus represents the corporate sector for the Lifetime Achievement Award. Last request for the minister and my dean, please. It's about.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Wow. To achieve such an award is overwhelming, and I feel pretty much honored. But honestly, I want to dedicate this award to all the people who have helped to improve family planning over the latest decades. These are my co-workers, my teams, my partners within the company or outside the company. There are so many fantastic organizations who have great ideas and to implement those ideas to accomplish a better world for girls in the developing countries. And I have to say, I am patient to work for the last 30 years in family planning, and I had the chance to work for companies who gave me freedom to operate and to make things which you may not expect pharmaceutical companies will do. Beyond what we have achieved, I think we have achieved big progress when you think about the big 3 A's: access, accessibility, and affordability. We made progress in providing modern contraceptive technologies to girls in need. And this is only possible because you guys here in the auditorium and outside who worked on the daily basis with girls and women to explain modern contraceptive technologies to him, that they better understand what is the benefit for them. This is a big achievement, and I want to thank you because you are the great heroes, not me. And what makes the work I have done so exciting is we always thought about how we can give a bigger voice to the youth, because we need them for the future. And we have worked together with ambassadors in a partnership with Women Deliver. And I think it was 2 years ago, Oying gave me a call and said, Klaus, can you imagine that we will have a leadership program for 120 under 40 leaders? And I said yes. And I think Oying was a little bit surprised that I already said yes. And, you know, this is where investment pays off so significantly, because we need the right people to do the right things. And I think this is something we all can achieve. And I hope that 2 other aspects beyond products you keep in mind. And this is all about access to information. This is why Bayer has implemented the World Contraception Day, which is happening on September 20 seconds, so don't forget about that one. And the good news is that this year we think about 3 million people will visit and have access to those information. This is a big achievement over the last years. And another wish I have, for the next conference, I hope more Ministry of Education will be here to learn and to see how important family planning is to educate young people. And here I'm talking about young girls, aged 10 or 12 or 14, because they are entering their reproductive life immediately. And they need the knowledge for their own choices. And there is one big number I was surprised with, which I heard yesterday. And the number is all about, do we have any idea how many girls each day entering their reproductive age? It's about 400,000. 400,000 young girls need our help, our support, and our dedication to give them a better world. And I think today it was said, the future is female. I hope there is a little place for men as well. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to do me a big favor. Can our awardees please stand up? Can they rise? Great. Amazing, amazing. Please do sit down. Can we all rise and give them a standing ovation? Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you very much. They deserve a big round of applause. They deserve a standing ovation. They deserve a thank you, a big thank you to all of us. But I know that you guys are inspired as I am tonight. Are you inspired? Yes, there's a lot of work to be done. But with these guys and with you guys, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're just about to finish, and I'm going to call 2 young men who are just amazing. They are amazing. They're great advocates, and they do so much work. I did say we can't do all this work. We can't talk about girls' issues and women's issues without boys. Hey, Katya. I see Katya there. Hello, Katya. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage Otuk and Trevor. A big round of applause. We're going to have fun. We're going to have fun.
She wanna be a star, she wanna touch the sky, she wanna walk a little harder to be a number one. She says she wants to run, she says she wants to fight, she says she wants to lead the people to the light. And she wanna be a mama when the time is right, and she don't wanna miss the dance every Friday night. She let the world believe that it is possible, if we let them be girls, as long as they deserve. And because it's the right, we should keep up the fight to let them stay girls. We should let them be girls, as long as they deserve. And because it's the right, we should keep up the fight. Girls, yeah. She wants the best in life. She wants to save some lives. She wanna choose what she believes will make the best of her. She never wanna be down. She wanna stay around. She wanna take control of everything that meant for her. And she wanna be a mama when the time is right. And she don't wanna miss the dance every Friday night. She let the world believe that it is possible. Sing it, sing it. As long as they deserve. And because it's their right, we should keep up the fight to let them stay. Yeah, we should let them be, girl. Oh, as long as they deserve. And because it's their right, we should keep up the fight. Girls, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey!
I fight for the fight for the right to have rights. Mama couldn't keep on the lights, so she knew what I knew now. We'd be sleeping at night. From her preaching to preaching, we reaching new heights. See how I put it in the song? Give me something nice to be on. We be living life and beyond, empowerment and life to be strong. Girls had a right to be wrong, right? But they don't understand. Voicing for man and woman. I never had the world in my hand. No matter where you fly in your land, Canada, Uganda, Japan, it's a part of the plan. Raising the verse if our children converse. We facing the birth, but we making it worse. Illegal doctors or illegal work, and our angels in danger get laid in the earth. We changing this now with the story we telling. We talking to Oprah, we talking to Ellen. Bill Gates is putting his money behind it. Keep moving forward, we never rewind it.
Conversation is family planning.
Contraceptives, we demanding. Education should be granted. And if you join us, to put your hands up right now. And I need you to do something with me. When I say family, you say planning. Family. 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 Give it to
we should let them be, girls.
For how long?
As long as they deserve. And because it's the right, we should keep up the fight.
One more time, O2.
We should let them be, girls.
For how long?
As long as they deserve. And because it's the right, we should keep up the fight.
Thank you, thank you.
How y'all doing? You enjoying the night? All right, so we're gonna do one more. Right, so this conference is about family planning, but young people are taking the lead, right? So in this song, we the youth people, young people, we're telling adults to quit their jobs and give those jobs to young people. Oying is like, nope. This song is about youth leadership. Woo. And you should come and dance. Come.
Yeah. I need y'all to vibe on this one. Oh.
You think I'm too young to be Alicia's. You think I cannot be wise.
Be wise.
You think I'm too young to be a leader. Nah. You want to give me some time. I got the one in my hand and my future
is when
it's right now. Yeah. It's right now. I need the power to change, cause I know that
what?
It's my time.
Yeah.
It's my time.
Oh,
hey,
sing it to
cause I'm young and alive.
Young and alive.
Why don't you invest in me?
Young and alive.
I want you to believe.
Young and alive.
In the leader I can be. I want you. Hey.
Okay. This one for the motherland, Africa. Where would I be without my mother, man? Keep keeping us tight just like a rubber band. And she gave me life to give another hand. She invested in me, now I'm giving back. If they invested in us, then we'll give it back. Plenty more for the 54 on the map. We need peace and development. Why? They're making it harder for mothers and mamas, fathers and papas to raise up their daughters. We push it falter, we push it father. Accra, Rusha, Addis Ababa. Stop sending girls to the altar, they smarter. What? Talking about how she torture. Nutrition and agriculture. Big business inside the culture. Leaders are what we destined to be. Young and alive is the recipe. So invest in me, you get the best of me. And we can meet 17 SDGs.
Young and alive.
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 Young and alive. Young and alive.
Young and alive.
Young and alive.
Hey, to believe. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want them to sing another one? Okay, guys, they must come back, should they? All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. This is the end of the evening. I'd like to thank all the organizers, thank all the youth, thank everybody, thank all our entertainers. And now we are going to Not Your Mama's after party. And the bar is opened, so have fun. From me, I want to say, I'm an inspiration, bringing education on gender equalization. So much sensation, feel the vibration, singing peace to the nation. I bring life to this earth, recognize my worth. Gomamina Gilikawe. Tomorrow is for my children. The future we can change. The world we will rearrange. I am courage, passion, efficiency. I'm a woman, well-organized man. I am different, but equal with a meticulous plan. Let me show you who I am. I'm a woman. Thank you very much.
Yes. No, give it up again, please. That deserves another round of applause. And welcome to the Method Remix. As we already know, this is not your mama's after party. My name is Makeda. I'm a content creator. I'm a personality here in Kigali. But most importantly, I am your DJ for tonight. And I'm ready to have a good time. Are you guys ready to have a good time tonight? Your hosts for this evening are Population Services International, PSI, of course, and the HCD Exchange. Tonight, we're bringing together leaders in health and design who are working together to redefine healthcare for youth around the world. And there's so much more in store for this evening. So feel free to go grab something to eat, grab something to drink, and come back. The bar is open, and the drinks are actually free for the next 15 minutes. So are we ready to get this party started? Yes? Yes? All right, let's get this party started.
It's Chris with the drama boy.
Kutoka Manzabe, picha twazi twanga kisera, posti insta wanga kwa kera, baada ya chali kimoko. Cause I just wanna let them know I'm African beauty. African beauty. You're my African beauty. You're my African beauty. You're my African beauty.
Round the world, girl, I've been looking for you. I think I might just find you in Africa. Girl, you know the sound when I come around. Lost you in the crowd, girl, pick up your crown. Yeah, do it now, do it now. Do it now, do it now.
Penzi tali, pamba ngojera, huba kama tanga segera, kwa biologa baikoko, kutoka mazabe, picha twaze, twanga kisera, posti insta, wanga kwa kera, ataja vike moko. Cause I just wanna let you know African beauty. African beauty. You're my African beauty. You're my African beauty. Bembea, takupepea, African beauty. Oh, love is what I see when I look into your eyes. Tiny Cugo waga navona, navona. And you know I deserve to be the one that takes you high. Timwili chumbani kila kona. Benzi tali pamba ngojera, uba kama tanga segera, kwa vino vya baikoko, kutoka manzabe, picha twazi twanga kisera, posti insta wanga kwa kera, baada ya chali kimoko. Cause I just wanna let them know I'm African beauty.